Alright, guys. Today is going to be a bit of an interesting video because technically this video is out of the blue. Like, really out the blue. But anyhow, we're going to get started with it. This is some Season 4 information breakdowns that we have gotten about the villain portion. This is from an interesting source, but we are going to take a look at this. So obviously I cannot show off the minifigs in this video, but I'm going to go in the same sort of order that we got them in over this year. So starting off with the character that sort of looks a bit like Rox. Everyone was having this opinion. This character is Rox. Rox will survive the end of Season 3. Well, no. This person is named Loyalist. This person has those similar vibes. We've spoken about this. This person looks like Rox. Has one of those Wolf Warrior / Star Wars sort of hood pieces and just these garments around. The images are obviously blurry and we can't say a lot. Now we also have this mutated monster. This mutated monster is interesting. Best way to describe it is green with a green ghost tail. It's not similar to the green the ghosts have. I would say similar to what Lloyd's new green is, but just a tad darker, if that's a color. We also have another monster. It's an earth monster. This earth monster is best probably described as a Groot hibernation of monsters. This guy seems to have, and I put this in quotes, we saw this leak straight after these guys, the hands of crabs, pretty much, and a head that has a crab sort of look. Now, all I'm going to say about this guy is I think the things that are in his hands are just attachments because it looks like you can stick on his head. I could be totally wrong. Again, these images are slightly blurry. The acid monster is the purple snake. Now, I'm pretty sure we had a different name for this guy, but maybe there's a different tribe of these people. Firstly, they sort of have some similar. This acid monster has a similar sort of tone to Pythor. From the images that I have. I'm also searching stuff up at the same time. So it looks like Season 4 is going to take place in the Land of Monsters for multiple reasons. I think it makes total sense. Purple. It makes sense to obviously go back to the Land of Monsters. Purple. Snake. It makes sense to go back to the Land of Monsters after what we've pretty much got this year, and would totally make sense because it is interesting. Firstly, I'm looking at the head of what we got at the start of this year. This head is an interesting mold piece because it does look a bit aquatic, and from the images that this image that was leaked isn't a full render of it, but it's sort of a show render. If this is what it's supposed to be a slight hybrid of Pythor's tribe / the tribe that the old Hypnobride tribe that obviously Sora was a part of. Firstly, very interesting, very aquated to seeing what does come next. This actually has been out for over 15 hours. Interesting. The snake will not be a main villain as well, interestingly enough. Yeah, I'm reading some Reddit comments about this. It's time for Kai. Well, it is interesting because people are actually finding this quite interesting. So, yeah, we are going to go back to the Land of Monsters. It seems to be the equating thing that is important here, that we'll be going there. Now, other interesting stuff that we'll take notes of as well. It is alleged that Cole will play a bit of a huge role from what we got out in the last couple of days. Apparently, Cole will play, obviously, a main role. How will this technically work is interestingly enough, because you wouldn't think Cole would have the main role this season. It doesn't make sense. Well, you know what? It kind of does. Anyhow, Cole's main role is apparently going to be important to the story. Will he be the main character in the box? I think so. I hope so. But if I'm going to throw something out there, it looks like our three main leads will be simple. It'll be Cole, Kai, and Lloyd. The reason why I say this is usually every season of Dragons Rising has this. Season 1 down in a nutshell was mainly Kai, Nia, and Lloyd, Aaron, and Sora. That does not include Nia, Zane, or Wildfire for reasons. Season 2. Season 2 Part 1 was based on our three original ninja, Kai, Lloyd, Nia again, and then our new ninja, Aaron, Sora, Wildfire. Season 2 Part 2 was a bit different because it was a tournament gimmick. But if I was to say who the main leads were in that, again, I would really just say Lloyd, Nia, Aaron, Sora, Cole, slightly because he makes it into the tournament a bit slower. But I feel like that's a group team thing, so I don't want to count him. Every other ninja was slashed to the side, I guess. Season 3 Part 1 is really just about Lloyd, Frak, Sora, Zane, and Pixel, and Aaron. The rest of the ninjas don't really have involvement. From what I've seen, obviously, in Season 3 Part 2, I feel like it's a bit of a different story on why they've taken it. If I was to count it main leads, obviously you see who's the main characters, but I would say Sora, Aaron, which I feel like Sora and Aaron are just the main constants here. Lloyd, which is also another main constant. Nia, who's become the main constant in this. And Jay. I don't want to count Wildfire because I feel like Wildfire is just pretty much along for this ride. She hasn't really developed as much. That's why I did mention her in Season 2, Part 1, because she did grow. However, it is interesting that Cole will be this main lead. I understand on that front that Cole, Kai, and Lloyd need to be that main lead. Kai, Land of Lost Things. Lloyd, he's power. And no, I said the Land of Lost Things. It's the Land of Monsters. Kai needs to be the main lead for that. Lloyd needs to be the main lead for this adventure because of his powers and learning more about it. And thirdly, Cole needs to have this main lead, which I think is true to what they need to tell. I'm very interested in where Season 3 Part 2 will obviously take place up for Lloyd's power. I don't want to see Lloyd lose his power. I feel like that's too much of a constant thing that happens in Ninjago with the ninja. In fact, I would actually hate it if in this far in Dragons Rising Lloyd loses his powers. Now, told me this season he lost them at the start. Makes sense, but not now. Not before Season 4 starts. Now, what else do we know about Season 4? We do know Aaron, Sora, Frak, and Wildfire will have their own group team mission, at least for Part 1. What we also do know will happen in that is Frak and Sora's relationship might take a bit of an easy turn. I don't know how to feel about that. There is a lot, literally, that we're getting at the moment. Now, Season 4 Part 1's release date is simple. It'll be in April. I did a separate video about this. I don't think they'll change the April schedule release date for multiple reasons. Main multiple reason why I'm going to give this, because I don't want it to be out there any further, is simple. Why the hell will they change the release date? Because their release schedule has always been April, last year, this year, and will have to be next year. I think Ninjago's got a constant thing happening. Doing really good with that at the start of the year, not the end of half. In the comments, I want to hear your thoughts about all the Season 4 information. Mainly, we spoke about the main villains at the start of this video, but I did go off topic and talk about some more information. Let me know your thoughts about this. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out, guys.